Volta ao Oblivion. Se me quero para ir aonde? Encontrar o herdeiro. Proceed catavates at once. Isto.
Your first priority now should be to find Martin and bring him back here. It will be safest here with me. When you return with Martin, we will figure out our next move. I keep a few things here in my chest to resupply traveling blades. Help yourself to whatever you need. Your first priority now. One of the youngest blades ever to serve in the Emperor's personal guard. I am glad to hear that he survived, but I fear he will take the Emperor's death particularly hard. The coronation of each new Emperor is sealed when he uses the Amulet of Kings to light the dragon fires in the Temple of the One.
Já tinhas dito.
The dragon fires of Akatosh remain lit until the death of the Emperor. His successor then lights them anew upon ascending to the throne. With Emperor Uriel dead and no successor crowned, the Temple of the One will be dark for the first time in centuries. The Elder Council rules in the Emperor's absence by ancient tradition. Chancellor Akato heads the Elder Council and is the closest thing the Empire has to a leader right now. But the Blades answer only to the Emperor, of course. We are not an arm of the government.
Martin.
He is a priest in the chapel of Akatosh in Kvatch. He never knew that he was Uriel Septim's son. You need to find him at once and bring him safely back here. The Daedra Prince of Destruction, an inveterate foe of all mortal races. He was involved with Jagar Tharn's plot against the Empire years ago. It doesn't surprise me to find his hand in the current calamity. Yes, Boris told you right. I am the Grand Master of the Blades. We serve the Emperor and the Septim bloodline. Talos is our patron. You wonder to find me here? Discretion is our watchword. Only a few of us have the honor to serve publicly in the Imperial Guard. Stay safe.
Wait. Oh. Ok. So, as duas mãos, one hand. Dois. Afinal não vou puxar, talvez. Então, indo.
Well met. I know that you are on an important mission for the Blades. Please, if you need a horse,
Yeah, temos
take
era
mine
isso
from the
que
Priory
para ir.
stables. Go with Talos' blessings. Do not fail.
I won't. Good sir. Esqueci-me do fucking cavalo. Também até sou mais pequeno, mas sim.
Yes, we're always on duty.
Hmm.
Goodbye.
Tenho de ir encontrar o ferreiro. Para ver se ele vende. Não me lembro se dava para esperar, fazer assim de esperar aqui. Provavelmente não. Afinal não. 4 da manhã, então 6, 7, é 8.
Hello, I'm Rashida, the smith, and this is Fire and Steel. Quality armor and weapons, repairs too. What can I do for you? Knowledge is the key to success in any endeavor. I sure am glad I don't live in Leywin. Too many foreigners.
Wow.
Nice town, but you need money here to live well. Head out of town and do some hunting. Sell the skins, or you can loot old caves and ruins.
Até o que eu vou fazer. Mas
Let me
primeiro...
take a look at what you've...
No.
Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you. That's more... a good... That's a... And that seems a fair price. That's more than I... And that's more than I usually... That's...
Ainda não estou.
You drive a hard bargain. Tell your friend. Be seeing you.
Hello, I'm Castor Scribonia, the writer, author of Woman Gone Wild. I was in Shadenhall last week, and I'm sure I saw Reynold Germain. He acted like he didn't know me, though. Yes, it's quite odd. Reynold, who I've bumped into several times in Coral, acted like I was a complete stranger. Also, he seems sober, which is a refreshing change. Usually Reynold is stumbling around Coral drunk as can be. Very odd, but then it's really none of my business. Who is the fairest of them all, other than myself? The proprietor of the Grey Mare is lovely. She and the guard captain would be a nice couple. Goodbye.
Northern Roots and Trade. Ah.
Hello, I don't think we've met. Are you new in town? Likewise, I'm always glad to meet someone new. Welcome. I'm sure my mother would be glad to meet you as well. My mother owns this shop. She would be glad of your business. I heard there is a good smith in Coral. Good day. Only the finest wares to buy and barter at Northern Goods and Trades. I'm Cedneus, the proprietor. How can I help you? If I don't have what you need, you might try the other Coral merchants. Renoir's has books, fire and steel for your armor and weapons. Casta Scribonia has finished a new book. Nothing that interests me, though. An old cleric with that name comes in now and then. Lives southeast of town on the Black Road at Waynon Priory. Let's get to training. Let's do business. That's a good price for you drive a fine transaction. Thank you for your patronage. You too. Hello.
Hello. Just leaves,
Good to see you.
Greetings.
I can't make up my...
Everybody needs a copy of the Black Horse Courier. Have a copy of the Black Horse Courier. It's the only way to get the real news. Feature story on the Grey Fox.
Grey Fox, man or myth? It's a so-called thieves guild, masterminding all the thefts in the Imperial City. Captain Hieronymus Lex of the Imperial Watch seems to think so. When asked about the Thieves Guild and its mythical leader, the Grey Fox, the captain was quite emphatic. This one man is responsible for all crime in the city. Ok, acho que não é ele, mas pronto, tá? The energetic and tenacious Captain Lex has, therefore, devoted himself to apprehending this masked menace. Wait, isto it reminds me of Lupin the Third. Que ele tem sempre inspetor que é mesmo só para ele. One question on the subject, Admas Philida, Legion Commander and Captain Alex's immediate superior, had the following response: ridiculous, the Grey Fox is just a fairy tale, there is no such thing as a Thieves Guild, and there never has been. Source of an unstoppable thief called the Grey Fox had been circulating around the process for centuries. The stories claim he can turn invisible at will, shrink himself down to the size of a mouth, turn to mist and seep under locked doors and perform a number of other truly unbelievable feats. If even half of these are true, Captain Lux will have his hands full capturing the Grey Fox. Eu fiz aqui mal. Templo. Market.
Who will help an old beggar?
How do you do? If you're looking for books, first edition is the only place in the city to find.
Tidings, citizen. Venencia Melisea, Office of Imperial Commerce. You got complaints? Of course you got complaints. Who doesn't? Why? I mean, of course. All I have available right now is a hovel on the waterfront. That's okay. I'm sure I can find a buyer soon. Farewell.
Muito longe.
Well,
Então. Eu tinha. Onde é que eu estava aqui? Yeah. Então já faço a tal as ruínas ali da frente disso. Immortal Blood by Anonymous. The moon and stars were hidden from sight, making that quiet night splashingly dark. The town guard had to carry torches to make their rounds, but the man who came to call at my chapel carried no light with him. I came to learn that Movard Piquin would see in the dark almost as well as the light. An excellent talent, considering his interests were exclusively nocturnal. One of my acolytes brought him to me, and from the look of him, I at first thought he was in need of healing. He was pale to the point of opalescence, with a face that looked like it had once been very handsome before. Some unspeakable suffering. The dark circles under his eyes spoke exhaustion, but the eyes themselves were alert, intense, almost insane. He quickly dismissed my notion that he himself was ill, though he did want to discuss a specific disease. Oh, wait, you get him. Vampirism, he said, and then paused at my quizzical look. I was told that you were someone I should seek out for help understanding it. Who told you that? I asked with a smile. This Senia Grey. I immediately remembered her, a brave, beautiful knight who had needed my assistance separating fact from fiction on the subject of the vampire. It had been 2 years, and I have never heard whether my advice had proved effective. You've spoken to her. How is her relationship? I asked. Dead. Movarth replied coldly, and then, responding to my shock, he added to perhaps soften the blow. She said your advice was invaluable, at least for the one vampire. When last I talked to her, she was tracking another. It killed her. Then the advice I gave her was not enough. I sighed. Why do you think it would be enough for you? I was a teacher once myself years ago, he said. Not in university, a trainer in the Fighters Guild. But I know that if a student doesn't ask the right questions, the teacher cannot be responsible for his failure. I intend to ask you the right questions. And that he did. For hours he asked questions that I answered what I could, but he never volunteered any information about himself. He never smiled, he only said at me with those intense eyes of his, committing every word I said to memory. Finally, I returned to the questioning around. You said you were a trainer at the Fighters Guild. Are you on an assignment for them? No, he said curtly, and finally I could take some weariness in those feverish eyes of his. I would like to continue this tomorrow night if I could. I need to get some sleep and absorb this. You sleep during the day, I smiled. To my surprise, he returned the smile, though it was more of a grimace. When tracking your prey, you adapt their habits. The next day he did return with more questions, these ones very specific. He wanted to know about the vampires of Eastern Skyrim. I told him about the most powerful tribe, the Volkihar. Paranoid and cruel, whose very breath could freeze their victims' blood in the veins. I explained to him how they lived beneath the ice of remote and haunted lakes, never venturing into the world of men except to feed. Movarth Piquin listened carefully and asked more questions into the night, until at last he was ready to leave. I will not see you for a few days, he said, but I will return, and I will tell you how helpful your information has been. True to his word, the man returned to my chapel shortly, after midnight 4 days later. There was a fresh scar on his cheek, but he was smiling at grim, but satisfied smile of his. Your advice helped me very much, he said, but you should know that the Volkihar have an additional ability you didn't mention. They can reach through the ice of their lakes without breaking it. It was quite a nice surprise, being grabbed from below without any warning. How remarkable, I said with a laugh. And terrifying. You're lucky you survived. I don't believe in luck. I believe in knowledge and training. Your information helped me, and my skill at melee combat sealed the bloodsucker's fate. I've never believed in weaponry of any kind. Too many unknowns. Even the best swordsmith has created a flawed blade. But you know what your body is capable of. I know I can stand 1,000 blows without losing my balance, provided I get the first strike. The first strike, I murmured. So you must never be surprised. That is why I came to you, said Morvarth. You know more than anyone alive about these monsters, in all their cursed varieties across the land. Now you must tell me about the vampires of Northern Valenwood. I did as he asked, and once again his question taxed my knowledge. There were many tribes to cover. The Bone Samu were indistinguishable from Bosmer, except when seen by candlelight. The Kirlth who could disintegrate into mist, the Yekef, who swallowed men whole, the dread Telboth, who preyed on children, eventually taking their place in the family, waiting impatiently for years before murdering them all in their unnatural hunger. Once again he bade me farewell, promising to return in a few weeks, and once again he returned, as he said, just after midnight. This time Morvarth had no fresh scars, but he again had new information. You were wrong about the Kirillth being able to vaporize when pushed underwater, he said, patting my shoulder fondly. Fortunately, they cannot travel far in their mist form, and I was able to track it down. It must have surprised fearfully. Your field knowledge is becoming impressive, I said. I should have had an acolyte like you decades ago. Now tell me, he said, of the vampires of Cyrodiil. I told him what I could. There was but one tribe in Cyrodiil, a powerful clan, who had ousted all other competitors, much like the Imperials themselves had done. Their true name was unknown, lost in history, but they were experts at concealment. If they kept themselves well fed, they were indistinguishable from living persons. They were cultured, more civilized than the vampires of the provinces, preferring to feed on victims while they were asleep, unaware. They will be difficult to surprise, Morvarth frowned, but I will seek one out, and I'll tell you what I learn. And when you will tell me of the vampires of High Rock, and Hammerfell, and elsewhere, and Black Marsh, and Morrowind, and the Somerset Isles, yes? I nodded, knowing that this was a man on an eternal quest. He wouldn't be satisfied with but the barest hint of how things were. He needed to know it all. He did not return for a month, and on the night that he did, I could see his frustration and despair, though there were no lights burning in my chapel. I failed, he said as I lit a candle. You're right. I could not find a single one. I brought the light up to my face and smiled. He was surprised, even stunned by the pallor of my flesh, the dark hunger in my ageless eyes, and the teeth. Oh yes, I think the teeth definitely surprise a man who could not afford to be surprised. I haven't fed in 72 hours, I explained, as I fell on him. He did not land the first blow or the last. Ooh. Ok, parece não estava agora à espera.
If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get.
goes it?
How are you today?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Fantastic. They say that the priests and priestesses of the Chapel of Dibella have all
rats,
been
always
murdered.
skirting around in the
No one
shadows,
even knows
making
who
me
did it.
jumpy. Safe travels.
Be seeing you.
Huh?
Must have been the wind. Who's there? Nothing to worry about, I guess. Just my eyes playing tricks on me.
Deixa eu ver, talvez consiga fazer. Pickpocket. Oh. Não consegui. Não. Quer dizer, provavelmente se eu tivesse de ter alguma coisa, mas. Sei lá. Acho que é só ver melhor que a parte de cima. Eu tinha ouvido algo. Guide to the Imperial City. Alicia Oda's Guide to the Imperial City. Praise Akatosh, bless the Empire and all its people. My name is Alicia Otis and I would like to tell you all about the Imperial City. The Imperial City. Who do you think believes in the Imperial City? Uriel Septim, Emperor of Tamriel, Defender of the Faith, and Descendant of the Sainted Tiber Septim, Lord Talos, the Holy God of State and Law in our blessed Nine Divines. All know the Emperor to be a good and holy man, for he may often be seen in the Temple of the One, making his devotions to the Nine Divines and the communion of saints. And where does he live? In the Imperial Palace, in the center of the Imperial City, in the white gold tower, which was built many ages ago by the godless, Daedra-loving Aelids. How fine it is that the stones raised high from this ancient evil empire are now reconsecrated as a monument to imperial justice and piety. People who visit the Imperial Palace like to walk among the graves of saints and counts, battle mages and emperors, and gaze with wonder upon White Gold Tower, which can be seen from any place within the city. The other council chamber here cannot be entered, and though you may marvel at their curious ancient armors, you will soon want to be away from the rude and discourteous Imperial guards. Imperial City districts. The Imperial City is divided into 10 districts. At the center is the Imperial Palace. The other districts are grouped around the palace. To the northwest is Elven Gardens, a pleasant residential district. Continuing within the Talos district, an exclusive residential area lies to the west. To the southwest is the Temple district, and beyond it the outside walls, the filthy and bad-smelling waterfront district. To the southeast lies the Arboretum, and beyond that outside walls the infamous Arcane University of the Mages Guild. To the east is the notorious Arena district, and last to the northeast of the palace lies the Market district, where anything may be bought, and beyond the Market district and beyond the Market district, outside the city walls, the Imperial prison. The Temple district. I lived in the Temple district of the Imperial City, and it is a pretty place. You are welcome to visit me, my husband and daughter, when you come to worship at the Temple of the One. This district is very pretty, and only pleasant and well-bred persons live here, though, as in all parts of the city, beggars are a constant problem. The Arboretum. In this beautiful garden you will find the famous statues of the Nine Divines. In the center you will find the statue of Lord Talos, Emperor Tiber Septim, but is it right that Talos should have this place of honor rather than Akatosh, King of Gods? It is the scheming pride of the Elder Council, who sought favor with the sons of Talos, that is responsible for this shameful error. The Market District. You will find crowds of people waiting outside the doors of the Office of Imperial Commerce to make their complaints about being cheated by some merchant. It is a very dirty place. Piles of crates around in untidy heaps, unwholesome. Toadstools and fungus grow in clumps, and the cobbles are slimy and encrusted with filth. If you may send your servant rather than visit yourself, it would be far better. The Arcane University. This place is unspeakably dirty and unkept, no better than a slum. You will never find the students of wizards outside in the air, for they are squatting in their dark dungeons, poring over profane texts and making crabbed scribbles on scrolls. Within the Archmage's tower is in the Imperial Orrery, which the mages use to study the sky. Such fools. Why do they not look on the glory of creation itself and give praise to the Nine as they ought, rather than squat and peer at such a ridiculous and expensive machine? The mages are said to have a great library of precious books, but they jealously hoard them for themselves. This is not a loss for the righteous, for these books are surely full of wicked nonsense. Ai meu Deus, isto é uma pessoa ignorante aqui. Imperial Waterfront. This is a terrible place. It is. Eu não estou a perceber esta pessoa. It is not uncommon to stumble over the bodies of women and children who have been murdered here. There are no more wicked and godless men in Tamriel than merchants and sailors, and they gather here to plot and cheat citizens of their hard-earned gold, gambling, enslaving, and skooma sucking. And even more depraved activities take place in warehouses and ships here. And where are the city watch? Nowhere to be seen. Imperial Prison. The prisons are very cruel and horrible, damp and dirty, with chains and pincers and manacles and instruments of torture on every hand. But did I find any prisoners in these cells? No, for the watch is so lazy and careless that the cells are all empty. I mean, eu tive lá, eu e outro gajo, mas fine. There are guards everywhere in the Imperial City. They travel in groups, for even they are afraid of the cruel bandits and thieves that lurk everywhere in the city. I do not know why they do not throw the impertinent beggars into prison. Jesus. My God. Criminals are so bold as to introduce themselves to you on the street. One outlaw was so brazen as to boast that he had stolen his weapons and armor from the Imperial prison. How careless and idle these watchmen must be to allow this. They know no shame, for the wicked officers of the watch are corrupt, and accept gold from the hands of the very people they are supposed to place behind bars. The arena. I will not tell you about this place, for you have no need to visit. Only idle or foolish persons come here to throw their money away on games of chance, or to spill their own blood, when they would better devote themselves to exterminating the armies of robbers, beggars that swarm in the streets. May the Nine bless you and keep you. Where did this go? Some of the men were worried about these old ruins being haunted, but Mephala? Take them. This spot's going to be perfect for ambushing merchants along the road, and all under the nose of the Imperial Legion. Finally got some of those big blue stones down today. Berenice got the idea to shoot them down with her bow. Got them all here with me. I don't know what they are, but they stink of magicka. They'll fetch a nice price with the Mage's Guild. 2 coins and that Khajiit from Vanderfell set up their camps down in the tomb. Fine by me. Spares the rest of us the smell. 2 coins ran up today. The Khajiit's gone missing. Swore to the Nine that you could hear claws scrubbing at limestone, but nothing's down there. I'm guessing she got tired of the smell and snuck out overnight. 2 coins, stench, could peel shells of mud crabs. I'm surprised she hung around that long. Ok, mas também não estava a dizer que. Não posso saltar e atacar ao mesmo tempo. Oh, that's a shame.
Where are you? Huh?
Não, estava a dizer que não tinha nada. Give history of the Empire before. No.
Whatever it was is gone now.
To arms!
Yep.
To arms!
Rally sung. Oh. É a tal da two pennies, a tal que a gente que tinha separado do grupo. Ok, já sei. Yeah, primeiro faço as cenas aqui e depois vou para ali. Mas não mostra o que é que ela. O que é que lhe matou. Já vi aquilo, então é aqui. Eu vi uma flecha. Yep. Avanci. Ah. Ixi. Ok, isso já foi culpa minha, I guess. Ah, não vi ali nada. Ah. É quem tinha aparecido música e depois ela desapareceu. Vilverin quando... Antes de ir para a espera, vi aquele sítio que... de baixo. Não sei o que eu fiz. E aqui. Oh. Eu não sei se, mesmo que eu não tenho contactos na mão, mas já ela estiver equipada de self, gasta-se ou não. Ou era a minha direção. Onde foi? Ok. Ah. Ok. Can I grab him? Então, parece acho que é. Não preenche. Eu vim dali de baixo. Sim, sim. Oh. Ali a porta agora está fechada. Tenho que resolver o puzzle. Mas com a música parece ter um inimigo aqui. Parece que vai abrir. Tipo de dano, só. Oh. Ah, até com isso já poderia comprar uma, a tal da casa. A cabana. Ou Alice hovel. É uma cabana. Mas eu queria ter uma casa bonita, na verdade, até. Não dá. Então, não era. Oh. Statue. Yo.
Damn rats. Always skirting around in this thing.
Eu ouvi aqui alguém.
What's that?
Oh, por favor, que ele não era ninguém importante. Oh, oh, ok, no necromante. Então não há problema. Train endurance. Eu levo-vos comigo. Look, my friend, I apologize that I have not written before now, and pray that you were not. How could you have known that your patrol would stumble across my outing at the cemetery? There was no denying my deed, a sack full of limbs and grave soil still fresh on my boots. With your men standing by, what choice was there but pursuit? Lest they suspect your own true nature. Truly, I am glad it was you to expose me, and not another whose spell fire may not have missed my escape so widely. My new haven provides safety and bodies to work on, where those long dead or helpless bandits. I will be content here for some time, though I dare not yet say where. Care for Keisu, and know that when the time comes, Jay shall return to live again in our beloved Daggerfall. Until then, Captain Cardius, remain vigilant and always hidden. Jalbert. Será que podemos encontrar essas pessoas na carta? Não sei. Shovel. Fine. Oh, sorry. The Warp in the West, a report compiled by Ulvius Tero, Blade Archivist. See it for your eyes only. Let me offer you my congratulations to your lordship for a recent appointment as ambassador to the court of Roybrist. Your lordship asked me for a review of existing Blades accounts from E3 3rd Era 417 concerning the Warp in the West, and for a summary of the current state of affairs there. Since your lordship was in Black Marsh, serving the staff of Admiral Sosorius at the time, you probably know of these events only from imperial proclamations and chapel declarations, which identify this spirit as the Miracle of Peace. During the Miracle of Peace, according to official accounts, the formerly war-wracked Iliac Bay region was transformed overnight from a patchwork of squabbling duchies and petty kingdoms into the peaceful modern counties of Hammerfell, Sentinel, Wayrest, and Orsinium. The Miracle of Peace, also known as the Warp in the West, is celebrated as a product of the miraculous interventions of Stendar Mara and Akatosh to transform this troublesome region into peaceful, well-governed imperial counties. The catastrophic destruction of landscape and poverty, and the large loss of life attending upon this miracle is understood to have been tragic and beyond mortal comprehension. Inasmuch as this account confirms and validates the current borders of these counties and identifies the rulers and boundaries of these counties as ordained by the Nine. The Miracle of Peace serves imperial objectives of peaceful consolidation of ancient petty states and sovereigns into manageable imperial jurisdictions. The other remarkable features of these events, mass disappearances, armies mysteriously transported hundreds of miles and completely annihilated, titanic storms and celestial phenomena, apparent local discontinuities of time, fit comfortably into the notion that these events are part of a vast mysterious divine intervention. However, this is only the public accounts of these events, and, as you may suspect, it conflicts with many other accounts. In short, while this explanation suits imperial policy, it has little historical validity. Your lordship should know that the Blades have concluded there is no plausible historical account of these events, and spares that a plausible historical account shall ever be produced. The Blades have concluded that the miracle occurred insofar as the events are inexplicable. But the Blades strongly doubt that the miracle was of divine origin. There is good reason to believe that the ruling families of the four modern Iliac Bay counties had forewarning of the events. There is also some evidence that some of these ruling families may have been directly and indirectly responsible for the event. We do not know the exact sequence of actions that produced the event, although we are confident that the totem artifact was involved, and that a blade agent was involved in employing that artifact. We unfortunately lost contact with that agent immediately after the event. His report might have gone some way to resolving the contradictory and paradoxical accounts of the event. The Blades have a few reports from agents dating from the warp in the west. Period. Most of our agents were lost in initial dislocation, and others were lost in the confusion after the event. I present a few of these reports to give you a general sense of their limitations, including the report of your diplomatic predecessor, Lord Strel. You will have had access to other private and rumored accounts of the period. I believe you will agree that these documents raise more questions than they answer. Report of Hammerfell, the agent Briarbird. I was on assignment in the Alikir Desert, a few miles south of Bergama, on the 9th of Frostfall. I was encamped, and it was still early morning when I felt the ground shake so violently. I was thrown to the ground. Dazed, I was aware of a great roar of a sandstorm which alarmed me, as I had been on High Dune and had seen nothing like that on the horizon. It was on me before I was even on my knees, burying me and my camp. When I crawled my way out of the sand, I realized that I must make haste and get to Bergama as soon as possible, as all my food and water had been swept away. The sun was just rising as I began. Like I said, when I reached Bergama, it was nightfall. The town was in chaos, filled with the soldiers of Sentinel. The Lord of Bergama's fortress was in ruins. There had been an attack, but no one has seen it. Only the invasion that followed it. The soldier of Queen Akorithi of Sentinel refused to be interviewed about how they had accomplished this sneak attack, but I came to learn that the whole of northern Hammerfell now belonged to them. Even stranger, I discovered that my walk from sunrise to sundown had not taken me not 1 day, but 2. It was now the 11th day of the month, not the 10th. I had lost a day somewhere, and so apparently had everyone else, except Akorithi's soldiers, who somehow were aware of the correct date. I since have concluded that they had received advance warning, and so were better prepared to deal with a strange confusion of time and dates associated with the warp. The report of IROC Agent Grey Lady. I was at the time of the warp undercover as a witch in the Skeffington Coven of Phrygius in central IROC. In order to give my report, I had volunteered for an expedition to gather supplies which would allow me the freedom to reach my contact in Camlorn. I was traveling northeast along the foothills of the Rothgarian mountains on the 9th of Frostfall, when I felt the great heat behind me, like a fire. I turned, but I regret to say I cannot tell you what I saw. The healers tell me my eyes were burning out of my sockets. I think I must have fallen into a state of semi-consciousness, for I distinctly remember falling as the ground seemed to give away beneath me. Then there was a series of explosions in the distance. To the south I heard high whistling noises that were getting louder, coming closer. I had my shield with me, and fortunately anticipated that volleys of some sort were falling from the sky. Though I could not see them, I could hear them coming from a distance away, and was able to use my shield to block them from striking me. The assault stopped suddenly, and I could smell smoke. I learned later that most of the force of Ikalon and Phrygius had caught fire in an inferno that started further south in Daenia, in the Elysian Hills. Fortunately, I kept my bearings. And moved north, finally reaching a temple in the wilderness where my wounds were healed as well as they could be. It was there that I learned that there had been a three-way clash between Daggerfall, Wayrest and Orsinium, not far from where I had been, and that the land midway between their kingdoms had been decimated. Report of Ambassador Lord Nagon Strawley. His Imperial Majesty has sent me on a delicate errand, the details of which I cannot convey in this unsecure report, but my official capacity was to be the Emperor's ambassador to the court of Wayrest. From there, I was able to meet with an old friend, Lady Briziana, who was already in the vicinity. Foregoing an attempt at sales, I was on an imperial barge sailing westward of Brijelsay, the morning of the 9th of Frostfall. I remember it was a slightly chilly day, but the sky was very blue. We had just passed the delightful riverside village of Candlemas when the captain sounded the alarm. There, in front of us, was a colossal wall of water, at least 30 feet high. It smashed our barge to splinters before any of us had a chance to react. I woke up on the shore, having been rescued by one of my servants, who had miraculously not lost consciousness. He and I and one other man were the only survivors. I thought at first that it was suspiciously familiar to what happened to another agent of ours in Irock, but a short time before, where a freak storm had shipwrecked him in the Iliac Bay near Privateer's Hold, furious and determined to see if a similar force were at work, I began a quick march to Wayrest. The march, however, was not so terribly quick. The villagers all along the Brijelsay were all on fire, and battles raged between the orcs of Orsinium and the soldiers of King Edwire in the formerly independent Principality of Govdon, just east of Wayrest. I am an accomplished mage, and quite able to defend myself, but it took the better part of a week to make it those few miles to Wayrest. King Edwire and his queen Berenzia were celebrating their great victories when I arrived, but then I had gathered the barest facts of the matter, that simultaneously there were 7 great battles in the Iliac Bay, and no one could describe them at all, only their blood-soaked aftermath. To summarize, on the 9th of Frostfall, there have been 44 independent kingdoms, counties, baronies, and dukedoms surrounding Iliac Bay. If one includes the unconquered territories of the Rothgarian Mountains, the Dragentail Mountains, the Irock Sea coast, the Isle of Balfiera, and the Alker Desert on the 11th of Frostfall, there were but 4: Daggerfall, Sentinel, Wayrest, and Orsinium, and all the points where they met lay in ruin as the armies continued to the battle. I was determined to find the truth from the king, even if I had to be a most undiplomatic diplomat to do it. Hardwire, though a generally jovial sort, had blustered, saying he did not want to give out military secrets. The queen, ever calm, be those unreadable red eyes of hers, told me we did not know. I think it is safe to assume that Berenzia did not tell me everything, but the facts of her story, which I later verified after pointed interviews in Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Orsinium, was that they had learned that a certain powerful ancient weapon was going to be activated. I shan't give the name of it here, out of fear that it would be used against Wayrest. The king had attempted to buy it from a young adventurer, who had discovered its whereabouts. Edward believed, as it turns out quite rightly, that other powers in the bay had also attempted to win ownership of this device. What happened then, as Bernstein said, we do not know. The morning of the 9th and the morning of the 11th somehow merged through some sort of warp in the west. The Wayrest found themselves at war. The land had expanded threefold, but they were under attack by Daggerfall to the west, Orsinium to the east, and Sentinel to the south. There had been no time to understand what had happened, the king said. They had simply reacted, sending their armies to defend their lands against these enemies whose kingdoms had also gained great territorial advantage. The battles continued on. Now, months later, as I return to the Imperial City to make my report, what more do I have to say? They are bloody, violent clashes, as it always the case with modern warfare. But I have been to the blackened, desolated, no man's land between the four remaining kingdoms. No mortal army caused that devastation. I can say that the force that shook the Iliac Bay on the 10th of Frostfall, 3rd Age, 417, was infinitesimally greater the power these mighty kingdoms are wielding today. I can say that there were other strange events on that day which kept the kingdoms from breaking free of the empire and accomplished likely more besides. And I can say there is nothing left of it. This power, this weapon, in the bay, the warp that it created swallowed it up. Current political affairs in the Iliac Bay, almost 20 years have passed and the region, though transformed, has stabilized. There are no more disputes to territories, and the kingdoms of Daggerfall, Wayrest, Sentinel, and Orsinium hold their new borders in relative peace. Wayrest spreads across the eastern coast of the bay, stretching from the land formerly called Anticlair to half of Galvadon. Eldwire has passed on to his ancestors, leaving his kingdom in the hands of his daughter, Elisana, who has 2 children by her old consort, and seems likely to hold her father's lands. Your lordship may also choose to communicate directly with King Elseth and Queen Bernazai in Mournhold. Their primary preoccupations are, of course, with Morwind's affair, but they still have useful information, observations upon Wayrest's ruling families and political environment that may aid you in your understanding of the court of Queen Elisana. King Gortwog of Orsinium controls much of the Worthgarian mountains, as well as the profitable river coast of the Bjal Sea. He persists in his demand that Orsinium be recognized as an imperial province separate from High Rock. The Elder Council treats Gortwog as a recognized king and collects tax directly from Orsinium. But officially, Orsinium remains a county of High Rock, though technically it spans both the provinces of High Rock and Hammerfell. Sentinel has gained the most land, spreading across the entire southern Iliac Bay, from Abongora beyond the Dragontail Mountains to the edge of more north, Orsinium's territory. Queen Akorithi, at her deathbed, her enormous kingdom to her only surviving son, Lothon, who is now surely one of the most powerful kings in Tamriel. Daggerfall is still ruled by the Breton king Gorth Erid and the Redguard queen Aub the First. Abduk First. Their land now encompasses all of western High Rock. From the border, they share with Wayrest at Anticlair to the east, to Wykalon to the north. They have 4 children now, and are much beloved in their realm. If there are other repercussions of the mysterious warp in the west, they have not yet come to our attention in the course of 20 years of observation. Mas então ele estava a ver talvez sobre isso. Ou isso. O que estava dentro deste coisa. Mas provavelmente eu também ele estava interessado. Na sala da arma. fico já assim, pá. Tá. Oh, ok. O cavalo simplesmente também foi-se. O meu cavalo também foi-se embora.
Good afternoon. Well met.
Well met you, sir.
Good afternoon.
The Fighters Guild is recruiting again. Not a bad way to
Lazy
get some
cat.
money if you've got
Slow in.
I'm saving up enough for some medicine.
Yeah.
Thank you, kind sir. He's a fairy tale. The Imperial Watch pretends there is a thief king named the Grey Fox who controls all the thieves in Cyrodiil. Of course, it's all just made up to give them an excuse to keep us down. I was in Cheydinhall last week, and I'm sure I saw Reynold Germain. He acted like he didn't know me, though.
A voz dele parece que mudou pouquinho.
I see.
Blessings of art. Have you heard the odd noises coming from Ugal Billet's place?
I thought I heard something. It's not
What are you? Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Maybe if I can.
I can't do
Yeah.
that. That's just not no deal.
Shh.
Make me a better offer. You're trying to drive me out of... You need to make a better... I can't do that. That seems a... You drive a hard bargain.
Shh. Isto custa 1000. 400. Oh, fuck off.
That seems a fair price.
Nope. Nope. É isto.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Hi there.
Good afternoon. Anyone looking for work should consider the Fighters Guild. I hear they're always looking for recruits.
Good to know.
Vamos para ver aqui.
Farewell.
I wonder what to do.
I'm Rena Bruyant. I love dogs. Doesn't everyone? They probably call us the dog people here in town. Romalis and I love dogs. We have quite a few. So sweet and well-behaved you wouldn't believe. It's good to know we've got such a strong Fighters Guild presence here in town. Farewell.
Eu não sei. Eu não sei. Acho que eu estava a dizer que acho que podia-se vender as cenas muito. Estas. Os estátuas, cristais, não. É aqui. Acho onde posso simplesmente ir a um.
You have
Which
my
skill?
ear, citizen. Greetings, Magister. How can I be of service? What are you looking for?
Where are the guilds? Think about landmarks. I mean, não há opção para ser. Okay,
There are no guild halls in the city, but the Arcane University is on an island outside the walls, south of the Arboretum.
Thank you.
Farewell, citizen.
What?
No.
Hey,
You too.
welcome to the Arcane University. If you wish to become a part of the Mages Guild, seek out the head of the local guild halls. They will instruct you further. What can I interest you in? Goodbye.
Mage Guild part to the Archmage Tower, Council Chambers. Ch.
She's such a nice young
I've heard others say the same.
Hello. I'm Castor Scribonia, the writer, author of Woman Gone Wild. Bye.
Hello.
Uh,
I'm Carmen Litta. Perhaps you know my husband, Alberic Litta, the Mages Guild sorcerer. What can I do for you?
para agora não.
Bye.
What's going on with... A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Desculpa.
I'm Athragar of the Mages Guild. How can I serve you? Can I interest you in... Good day.
Greetings, citizen. Is there something I can do for you? Are you perhaps interested in joining the Mages Guild? Well then, it's no small matter. Membership in the guild is quite an honor, but also a responsibility. Do you wish to join the guild?
Yes. I mean, I can. Okay. Yeah.
Very well. You are now an associate of the Mages Guild. The full guild hall is now available for your use. You'll need a recommendation from each local guild hall in order to advance further. Until then, the Arcane University will be closed to you. Welcome to the guild, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'm afraid I can't just write one out of hand. That would be against protocols, you see. If perhaps you can clear up a small matter involving Irana, you can prove your loyalty to the guild and earn my recommendation. She and I have an unpleasant history. She does not care for guild regulations and errantly believes I am misusing my powers. I have seen that she is in town. Though she has not approached me, I know she wants something. I would like you to find out what it is. Determine what she's after, and how we may be rid of her. I do not want her here, spreading her lies. Make haste. I wish to be rid of Erana as soon as possible.
Yes?
Hmm.
Be seeing you.
How are you today?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Hooray!
Excuse me. My name is Angalmo. Can I help you?
Não, não tenho.
Good day.
I am Alberic Litter of the Mages Guild. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure, but not. They don't. No.
You too.
Ta-da. Yep. Eu pensava que havia assim, alguém que pudesse fazer troca de comércio. Enganado, não estou.
It's you. Hi. I heard there's a new shipment of weapons at Fire and Steel. I was in there just a few days ago.
Aqui deve ter mais diversidade de lojas. Alright, eu tenho também. À noite, ok.
You've come to divine elegance because you care about what you wear. And Palinneria has what you want, or no one has. Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you. You're trying to drive me out of... I appreciate your business. Good day.
Agora não preciso bem de nada, só quero vender para poder ter um sítio. Para depois deixar as minhas coisas se estiver cheio.
Welcome to the Mystic Emporium. Calendil is here, with all your needs under one roof. Look and buy. Nothing could be easier. Let's do business. You're trying to drive me out? You've got to be... I can't afford to do that. That's just not... A good price for...
Fine. E... Isso.
I appreciate your business. Farewell.
Edgar Vautrin, you don't want the very best. You want cheap, and I got cheap. Take care.
Tertullian, Sergius, and Cicero, the three Verus brothers. I'm Sergius.
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
That's a fair deal. You've made a good bit of gold. Thank you for your business. Bye.
Oh, hello. I'm Jer. I'm a dip. A pickpocket. But relax, you're safe from me. You look like you might take offense. Too risky. You have to watch out for pickpockets in the city. You'd be surprised how many waterfronters earn a good income that way. The Emperor and his 3 sons, dead, right under the noses of the Imperial Guard. It's a disgrace! You too.
Ai, sou um ladrão, mas estás seguro? Não vais. Acho que não precisas de ser roubado. Que eu tipo, aham. Isso é exatamente o que um ladrão diria-me se tivesse tentar roubar-me.
What can I do for you? Why? I mean, of course. All I have available right now is a hovel on the waterfront.
É mais barato. So. Há uns que eu acho que é grátis, não era? Should I? A mim também é mais para o pessoal.
Then you've just become a homeowner. Here is your house key. You'll find it in the waterfront district. It's not much to look at. You may want to spruce it up a bit with some furnishings. I'd suggest talking to Sergius Verus at Three Brothers Trade Goods in the Market District. Be seeing you.
Hello.
Can you spare a coin?
Speak.
Deixa eu cá ver quanto é que mais ou menos
What do you
custa as
want?
coisas.
Let's do business.
Storage 684. Enganei. Bom, não vai ser hoje. Ok, deixa eu ver onde é que então tenho a casa. Acho que era aqui. Já deveria ser já uma coisa. Tipo, acho que deveria ter a opção de fazer fast travel para casa. Mas pronto. Oh, nope.
We have no emperor and no heir. What?
Somebody! Hey, take whatever you want. It's none of my business.
Greetings, child of the Regatta.
Beautiful, isn't she? The Marie Elena. Damn fine ship. With a damn fine crew. I should know. I'm her first mate. Malvolus is my name. So believe me when I tell you we don't like it when people snoop around in our affairs. You get near that ship and my men will run you through.
What's going on with you?
Greetings.
I saw some mud crabs.
What
by the
exactly
water
do you
recently.
require?
I Steve.
Mas é tipo, as pessoas não estavam a dizer que estava a roubá-los, portanto.
Goodbye.
Stop! Thief!
Não está a dizer que eu estou a roubar.
I'll go there.
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
I hope I made myself clear the first time.
Good. Watch yourself.
They call me Isleaf the Open-Handed because I'm so generous. Well, don't expect a handout from me. You certainly don't need it.
Não sei o que é que isso quer dizer, mas talvez. I don't know.
What is it, Hans Garmo?
Looking for an axe.
Ah, Ardo Estelar. I've arrived at my new house in the Imperial. I may want to head over to search first and that. Yeah. No. Agora estou bem. Isto também é coisas que é para vender. É só uma. É. You realize that all your life you have been coasting along as if you were in a dream. Suddenly facing the trials of the last few days, you have come alive. Oh God, não. Bloqueou. Fuck me. Oh, ok. Bem, já vou ficar aqui. My God. Tchau.